The first problem posed to any human being is birth. That is the first obstacle to you understanding the you. The you. That is, that which was never born and which will never die. We can talk about that, and we can talk about coming to that, and that is a very difficult process. Simple, but difficult. But now, what do we want on the way? On the way, we just want to solve problems. Okay? We want to make this life as comfortable as possible. So we have that first distortion, or let's call it the second distortion, insecurity. And we've talked about that. It is a very deep, no, not deep, because we feel it all the time, very old sensation. We have grown comfortable with that sensation. Anytime we are in a situation that is perceived to be unfamiliar to us, that raises its head. We kind of don't know what to do. If we are aggressive, one of the things we do is stand up. Quite often, this standing up is a problem, because it often has nothing to do with the situation. If you understand the other person is in the same situation you're in. Same situation. What needs to happen is that situation must be perceived clearly. This is where I am. I am insecure, okay. Let me let that go. Let me look at what is happening here. Let me resolve whatever issue is here. And it is the issue that is important in terms of the resolution. The issue is important. This is how we do things as a group better, when it is the issue and not me or you, or either of our insecurities. So here we have this insecurity going on. We meet people of a different race, or a different sex, or a different height, or a different weight, or a different body structure, whatever that is. We have a thought about it. We meet somebody who's in good shape and we're not in good shape, we have a thought about it. We meet people who are in a position of, quote, power, which they really aren't. We have a thought about it. They are better, I am less. No. Okay. You see, this thought is a result of your insecurity. The question then is, why can't I just look straight across at this person? Not be insecure, but not be overbearing either. Just be a person. Just be a person. Has nothing to do with me. I want to create a good image. I want to be effervescent. No one is effervescent. That's a pretense. And when it's a pretense, it's made up. When it's made up, it's not working. Okay? It's not working. And I'm doing that out of my insecurity, to try and fit in. See, the truth is, no one fits. No one. No one really fits. That's why we have all these problems in the world, because no one fits. Trick is, I am who I am, and here I am, and hello, how are you? I feel good, therefore my feeling good is going to come across to you. Because I feel good. Okay? You're not going to be like James Brown, jump up and do a split, but you feel good. You feel who you are. You don't feel confident. You are just who you are. And this comes from letting go of insecurity. Now, as we grow, we take that insecurity, and as we meet people, we either try to become a part of it and fit in and do the things that they do, or we're shut out on the outside. Some of us think inside and some of us act out. Those of us who act out are probably more insecure than those of us who are introverted. Those of us who are introverted, Albert Einstein, Thomas Edison, Buddha, Joshua. These are introverts. Okay? These are the people who solve problems. Okay? These are introverts. The extrovert, I used to say that, what do you call it? The extroverts are just insecure people who are trying to throw up a smoke screen so that you don't see their insecurity. Secure people are just insecure people in disguise. I am myself. I'm not secure. I'm not insecure. I am just myself. Because security and insecurity are both made up options. They are the observation of someone. Myself is simply myself. I'm not afraid. I'm not unafraid. I am present. This is what lies behind that first distortion. I am. Simply. Okay? So, now the problem is when we take this insecurity, we come out in the world and we try to fit. And if we're not accepted by portions of the world or whatever that is, wherever we're trying to fit, then we can become angry people. And then we walk through the world with our anger. We walk through the world wanting to fight, even when there is no reason to fight at all. Because we can't see the truth of what is in front of us. I don't say that we should not fight. I don't say that. But only when it's necessary. It is necessary to fight when it's necessary to fight. When it is not, when this thing blows up inside of you because you feel put upon, and 90% of the time your feeling put upon is a result of your own insecurity and has nothing to do with what is outside of you. So, we come to the solution. We're not talking about a solution. We're talking about the solution. Often what we try to do is solve our mental problems one problem at a time. It doesn't work. Because that one problem stems off of a base. It is the base that must be dealt with. And if I am not dealing with the base, I am not dealing with the problem. Now, some of us have run into problems with me because I keep saying, do your work. As I have explained, the work is not, I say to you this very simply, the solution is to allow the free movement of energy. because it is the way the energy is configured within your body that causes you to believe or to react in the way you react. And that is based in the insecurity. So we have that loop. The whole idea is if we change that loop, we change everything. We change the base, we change everything. If I want to kill all the fish in the ocean, what do? Get rid of the ocean. No fish. Okay? You follow? So if I want to get rid of the problem, I have to get rid of the root of the problem, that thing that the problem is planted in. And anything that I do other than that is a waste of time. Waste of your good time. Then you find yourself 10, 20, 30 years involved in the same process that offers no hope, no resolution. Just going through over and over and over again. Mostly now, the thing we have to consider. Here is what we have to consider, those who are looking for answers. Am I looking for the answer, or do I just want to keep my stuff going? I'm comfortable with being an angry person. Well, if you're comfortable with being an angry person, you shouldn't be in a place where people are seeking solutions. You should be someplace else. You should be over there with other angry people. See, I'm trying to think of a better way to say this. If you put all the angry people together, they kill each other off and the rest of us can have peace. That's about the best I can do with that. Okay? The rest of us can be at peace. We don't have to deal with that. We can create a world and a society that is interested in resolution of problems. If you look around, I remember when I was teaching, I read a report from 1929 on the Chicago public school system. I read a report on the Chicago public school system from 1970 or 1980. It was the same report. It was written at different times by different people, but the observation was the same thing. So, how much had we grown? How much had we changed? Simply put, we're not interested in really resolving the problem. We had a bunch of people who were interested in power. Well, I think this and I want it this way. Well, I think this and I want it this way. Well, we'll compromise. We'll get this much out of infinity. So, we say growth is slow. Well, it's slow when you have a bunch of people who don't want to grow, who want to keep the status quo. So, here, all I'm trying to do here is to help those people who want to grow. That's all. We can't make it anything other than that. If you do that, then we're not understanding our relationship. Grow. Change. If you're focused in something other than freeing that energy to roll, to run, and thereby freeing you to feel better, and when you feel better, you will do things in a different way. Life becomes different. Life becomes a joy. Happiness abounds. It can't do that as long as the individual holds on to this other stuff. Well, I want to be right. Well, I watch a lot of people who ride bicycles. They want to be right. Sometimes dead right. Dead right. Okay. So we can be dead right. Whoop-de-doo, I was right. Okay? What is it? Each individual must decide what it is that they want in their life. What is it you want? You must desire to do or to understand the proper thing. I say proper thing. Proper thing for the moment. We come to the issue of right and wrong, good and bad. Perhaps you know what that means. I don't know what that means. I know what is conducive to something and what is non-conducive to that. Because as you stand back and you look at the world, you go, well, what is right here? Because one of the things you will see is that this behavior over here that is chaotic and angry and stuff, and this behavior on the other side that is not chaotic and angry, clash, and out of that something grows. So, all I'm saying is I don't know which is right or wrong, because out of that something grows. Now, I do know this. Those that exist in the angry side are miserable. That's just the outcome. That's the outcome of not understanding. We come to the center, we see. But we also see that if we stand at the center, life does not have to be full of clashes. Things can happen without the clash. Things happen because we become better able to use a greater portion of our intelligence. A greater portion of our intelligence, and just solve the problem and go ahead about our lives. Whatever that problem has to be, whatever it is, we just solve it, move on. That is what we learn. But when I know what is right or wrong, I'm constantly pulled. I'm constantly injured. I know what is conducive and what is non-conducive. I am not injured. I see it for what it is. Also, as I grow away from the insecurity, I'm allowed to see that the thing that I fear the most, that is annihilation, death, does not exist. Only life exists. Only life exists. Now, perhaps you don't know what that statement means, but I challenge you to find out what it means. I challenge you. Let us find out. Find out. Go. Take the chance. Go. We can say, I understand, and that would be an intellectual understanding, but that's not what we're after here. We're not after your intellect. You're putting two sentences together, or two words together. I'm smart. No, we're not interested in your being smart. We're interested in your uncovering your native intelligence, which is different. It is different. When you see it, or when you experience it, you go, okay. I don't have to struggle anymore. I don't have to prove that that I have good ideas. When we go through life trying to prove we have good ideas, one of the things we do is try to put square pegs in round holes. We'll try to be involved in something without knowing all the intricacies of that thing that we're involved with. I had calls in a group to say to someone, be careful that your compassion the kind of compassion that you have does not lead to your destruction. So, well, what do you mean? And all I did was raise my shirt and show my scar. Because of my heart was destroyed. The issue is, if you allow your compassion to be fueled with this and cause stress in your body, you're going to die. Okay? That's the issue. Be careful. Be careful. Come to the natural compassion. And when you come to the natural compassion, it's okay. Everything is fine. The natural compassion, when you look at something, it causes a pain. But that pain is not all encompassing. It doesn't make me break down and cry. It may bring tears to my eyes, but it doesn't make me break down. And that was the point. There's a place you come to. I've said that point when we talk about Tao, compassion, lack of compassion. If you see it from the center line or from the outside, it's different. You are different. The way you handle it is different. Okay? One way is healthy, the other way is not healthy. Okay? That is the statement, at the wrong time, even the most divine thing becomes satanic. Because it's not at the right time. It doesn't fit. It doesn't do anything to help the process move forward. We have to focus on what the issue is. The issue is your peace. The issue is you feeling better and not being able, nothing can disturb you. Nothing. Nada. Zilch. Zero. Zed. Nothing. Nothing. So when you find yourself still being disturbed, you have to say, what is in me that causes me this disturbance? What is in me? And you can't walk away from it. If you walk away from it, you're walking away from the disturbance, and you're still not dealing with the disturbance. You see, I have to stand here, and I have to take it. I have to stand here, and I have to take it until I am free. Until I answer that final question about it that allows that energy to move, and I am free. Now, go through the pain. Go through the pain of it. Once you go through the pain of it, you get stronger. And you go, oh yeah, I can do this. I can do this. Once I shut up, once I stop talking to myself about what I can't do, once I stop talking to myself about the limitation that I impose upon myself, once I stop talking about it, the mind can talk about it. If you stop listening, everything's all right. If you don't jump out and grab hold of that thought, the energy moves. Ultimately, the thought will go. And in that moment, you are now free. You're free to be a human being. See, what these thoughts do, these negative thoughts, they make you less than your potential, which makes you less than the human being that you should be, less than what you can be, of what the real limit is within you. What is the real limit within you? It's all about the puzzle of you. It's all about the puzzle of you. You solving that problem. And once you solve it, you see why others don't do better. They show you in their actions and their behavior. Aha! Then what am I doing to disturb my peace? There is nothing I can do about what someone else does. That's why everything falls back to me. I can't change this. I can't change you. You think your idea is just as good as mine. I don't mean you as individuals here, but out in the world. Your idea is just as good as mine. I found this out being in that world, that most of the time the people above me, they weren't interested in solving the problem. They were interested in their moving up the ladder. That was what their interest was. So was their idea as good as mine? All I wanted to do was solve the problem. That's all I wanted to do. You see? So was the idea equally good? No. In terms of the whole? No. Was it conducive to the whole? No. Well, one was. One idea was, and one was not. Okay? So when you go through these questions, you have to go through these questions. This is about arriving at peace. This is when you arrive at peace, you understand something about the revealing of true intelligence. The revealing of true intelligence. The revealing of unencumbered law. The revealing of understanding what you see. The revealing. Separate from all these things that I put on it that are personal. Personal. Having to do with persona. Persona. Having to do with mask or false face. Having to do with my insecurities and my doubts and fears. So those are personal. And as long as those things are personal and I try and fit into this world where everybody's thing is personal, it's not going to work. So the best thing I can do to change the world is to add to the collective unconscious real love, real peace, real understanding. I can't come to you and change you. See, we're here in this group, or this group extends to wherever it extends, supposedly to learn and grow. How many fights do we have among us? All the time there's bullshit going on. All the time. Now how do you think that's going to play in the world? You follow? We're supposed to be trying to arrive at peace and understanding. They aren't. They're interested in climbing the corporate ladder. They don't want to hear what you have to say. They don't want to hear that airy-fairy, touchy-feely stuff. So all you can do is work with you, to understand you, to bring peace, so that when you see their only interest is personal rising. It's all right. I understand, because I see. And I am not affected. My peace is not disturbed by it. Not one little bit. Not one little bit. Well, I want to contribute. Well, the powers that be don't want your contribution. You don't want my contribution? One of the things you hear me say If you're not here to do this, get the hell out. I'm not interested in your contribution. You see what I'm saying? Because this is about this. It's not about anything else. Anything else. It's about coming to peace and understanding. In that same sense, I don't mean you have to say to your boss, get the hell out. In here, you accept whatever. It's who signs my paycheck? You do. Sign the check. What do you want me to do? You want me to leave it alone? You got it, bro. You signed the check this week? Cool. I'm giving you what you want. You give me what I want. You understand what I'm saying to you? I got you, man. You understand what I'm saying? This comes from being at peace and understanding the situation. I will affect the world by who I am. I will affect the world by who I am in the collective consciousness of mankind. In that effect, I change things. You notice flows happen in the world. Flows happen. Change happens. Flows happen. This comes from the collective consciousness of man. There's no tension in real peace. There's no tension. You see it. It's what it is. In real peace, there's no tension. The tension comes about when you are going along. That's why you always hear me say, you have to do the work for the real. Don't pretend. And some of us have had our toes stepped on by me because we're pretending something we're not. That doesn't work. You see, you have to do the work, and suddenly you're not involved in it one way or the other. There's no stretch, there's no tension, nothing. That's the difference. It's like love, the essence of love, the essence of being. There's no stress, there's no tension with love. It's just love. It just feels the way it feels, totally unencumbered as it flows through you. Then your actions become unencumbered. Your actions become that which is best. See, we can have a difference in philosophy, right? I have to deal with these three people over here. You're at the top. You want me to do what you want me to do. I'll do what you want me to do because you're my boss. But how am I going to make a difference? I'm going to make a difference in the way I deal with these people that I have to deal with. My peace is going to help them. You see what I'm saying? Years ago, when I used to eat whole pizzas, whole medium pizzas. I went in this restaurant, and I used to go in there and get a whole pizza about every other night. And I'm sitting there at the table, and pretty soon there's one waitress sitting, there's another one, and there's a third waitress, and they're sitting there. And they said, we like being around you because something just feels different. Cool. Can I have a free pizza? No. Well, there's a point about that. You see, in the way you deal with people or your presence with them makes a difference. So you are making a difference in your peace. You follow? And that's because it flows. And everything will vibrate to some degree at the rate of the strongest vibrational frequency. That's why it has to be real. Because if it's forced, look at me. I'm vibrating different. No, that's forced. That you're not. you are passing on stress. You're passing on lying. And people, whoa. So when it's real, that's why the work has to be done to take you to what is real. It just happens. It just happens. I often tell the story of when I go into New York. Everybody knows me. The point is how you treat people. When you treat them well because it is real inside of you, it changes things. It's not your voice. When I say it's not your voice, it's not what you say. It's what you do. And it's how you are. You can't be changed. Therefore, they have to change to some degree. If you are not real, have not come to that real place where there's no stress in it, you can be changed. You can be swayed. And when I say you can be changed and you can be swayed, when you feel the change coming on, you feel the anger welling up in you, or whatever that is welling up in you, it tells you you have not come to that place of real peace. So what we don't do is we don't try and suppress it. We do the technique so that we can understand the energy. We can understand the basis of it all. You follow? Okay. It has to be real. It has to be real. It makes a difference. Makes a big difference. The real, there is no stress involved in it. There is no, well, I'll just go over here. I don't want to, whatever all that is. That's stress. We have to know it. We have to know it for our own good, not for someone else, not because it looks right, because we truly seek to understand, because we really want to be healthily at peace, really at peace. The only reason we should be doing this is because we want to understand, because we truly want to understand. And when I truly want to understand, I will do the things that it takes to understand. I will do those things because that's what I want. I want to know. If you want to, I don't know, be an engineer, where do you go? School of Engineering. And you don't argue with them. Okay, wow, look at this. I'm learning. Wow, look at that. Oh, okay. Because they're going to say, this is an art. Once you understand the basics, then you apply them in whatever way you apply them. Once you understand it. Oh, you don't go to the psychology department to understand an engineering problem. That's later. You get the basis of understanding. And you use that at every opportunity. And throughout your day, there are many, many, many opportunities to do the work. And the work is very simple. Put your attention where you feel the energy or where you feel the tension. Relax. Just relax. Observe what happens. Pretty soon something should occur to you. Well, it didn't go away. Well, that wasn't the object of the exercise. The object of the exercise is for you to understand what happens when it goes away or doesn't go away. Yes, Jessie?
I've noticed that sometimes, like after the fact even, I was having a conversation with my daughter, and we were having this discussion, and she was going on about her point, and I said something that I thought explained,
Mm-hmm.
what it is I was trying, and she just kept going on, and I was like trying to make her hear what I was saying. That all of a sudden, I just stopped.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say anything else.
Yeah.
And later, I realized that I was doing the stop technique because something, it was and I'm like, you know what?
Hey.
And okay, that's how you do that.
Yes, that's
You
how
don't
you do
just
that.
keep going on, and it just really felt good. But I realized that
Yeah.
it was happening automatically.
But see, that's what I mean when you try and talk to people about it. Their ideas, they feel that their ideas are just as good as yours. So what do? They keep talking. What do? Shut up. See, I shut up from the beginning. That is, when they go blah, 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 I go, I think I'll go get me some pomegranate and blueberry sherbet. What's to say? Yes, but that's right. That's what happens. It happens naturally. What is to say? One of the things, particularly with our children, and everybody here has been young and somebody's child at some point in time, is that every generation thinks that they are ahead of the game and there's something new. When the old people know there's nothing new. It's new to you because you just got here. You just got here. I thought the same thing when I was at your, well, I'm going into the future. And the future is sitting there looking at you going, you dummy. But, hey, we'll say, but what about all the things that we've got now? We've got all the electronics. Yeah, but that doesn't say anything about your consciousness. It doesn't say anything about you as a person. We think that this is progress. This is not progress. We still have the same problems that we had. Progress is through the raising of the consciousness of humanity. So when you talk to your children, they think their ideas are better than yours. They don't know. They don't know that 30 years of experience is better than reasoning. You got a good idea, but it's only an idea. It's words. You haven't learned how to make that thing a reality, so you go. Like I used to say to my children, I said, you want to take a look at my body? It's covered with scars. That's how I learned. Go get yourself some scars. You'll be all right. Those scars are the thing that's going to teach you, if you allow it. If you allow those scars to teach you, how many of you are still with your first love? Did you get your feelings hurt? It teaches you, wow, let me grow some. Let me find out what's going on here. See, if you hadn't gotten your feelings hurt, you wouldn't grow. You wouldn't say, oh, let me get away from this. No. I tell the story, I've told it to you before, of frying bacon when I was, I don't know, about 14. And boy, that bacon grease on that fork looked real good. And what did I do? Hot bacon grease. Ah! Never did that again. See, it's those kinds of things where you learn. You learn, wait a minute, nobody stuck that fork in my mouth. I did that because of my assumption And so we come back to this whole thing. It's on you. Your mistakes are on you. There's nothing that you can do to anyone else to change them. You cannot change anyone. Every person has to change themselves. You can't do it.